Dr. Sleep is the sequel to Stanley Kubrick's adaptation of Stephen King's The Shining, and it is directed by Mike Flanagan, who is my second favourite director. And he has actually worked with Stephen King before because he adapted his novella Gerald's Game. He also adapted Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House, which is just genuinely a masterpiece. Anyway, talking about Dr. Sleep, this is the worst Mike Flanagan film. It's not necessarily bad. You know, I definitely wouldn't say it's bad. It's nowhere near being bad. It just is the worst Mike Flanagan film. But it is the best looking Mike Flanagan film. Like the cinematography, like shot composition and color palette and CGI is all the best. And the CGI being the best out of all of his productions is most probably because it's a major motion picture by Warner Brothers. And that's what kind of ruins a lot of it. What Warner Brothers do, especially with like It, the sound design is just awful. For some reason, they feel like they need to add these huge woo sound effects, and it just really ruins the whole vibe. And that really annoyed me. And also, Mike Flanagan edited this film like he does, I'm pretty sure, all of his stuff. But the editing was not good. If you've seen some of my videos, you know that I hate cross dissolves. Jesus Christ, there's a cross dissolve every 10 seconds. The first few was somewhat stylistic. They were most probably a gradient wipe, but then it's just cross dissolve mania, and it kind of ticked me off a bit. And there's two pieces of dialogue that also took me out of the film. I won't like give context and give spoilers. But one of them was said by Ewan McGregor. He said "wakey wakey," and it just kind of made me laugh. And then one of them was said by Rebecca Ferguson, who plays Rose the Hat, who's pretty much the villain in this film. And she it made me laugh so hard. She just goes, "All right then, bitch child." The acting in this film was mostly great. I didn't know Jacob Tremblay was in this film, but he was in it, and I mean, he's Jacob Tremblay. I mean, come on, it's Jacob Tremblay. He's like the best child actor. He was absolutely incredible for like the short screen time he had. And then the girl who played Abra, I've already forgotten her name. And by the way, Abra, Stephen King couldn't have been more subtle. Like, are you serious, Abra? Because she's magic. She was quite fantastic. There were a lot of parts where she didn't really feel believable, but you know, she's a kid, she's got time to learn. But for the most part, she was absolutely fantastic, especially in one scene, but I'm not going to give any spoilers. It could be argued that she gave the best child performance of this year, but I don't know. Ewan McGregor was okay. A lot of the scenes, I really felt for him. He was really good, and then a lot of the scenes, it just felt like he wasn't trying his best. Rebecca Ferguson was absolutely great. She was really, really good. The blonde girl from the trailers, her name is Emily Aylan Lind, and I've seen her in a lot of garbage films, in a bunch of garbage roles. And I didn't know how big her role would be in this film. It's pretty big, and she actually does it quite well, which is nice to see. So she was good as well. And then, you know, literally like all of Mike Flanagan's friends were in this, other than like Basso, Wilson, Siegel, Risa, and Eugenio. Oh, and Annabeth Gish. Yeah, they were all, you know, great. Anyway, talking about the cinematography again, there's a lot of shots in this film that are very similar to shots in The Shining, and you know, that's just really cool. But yeah, I don't really have much to say about this film. It was okay. I don't see myself buying the Blu-ray until a very, very long time. Oh, and also, this film has a 2.5 hour runtime. But the pacing was really good. It never felt slow, and the first act was pretty slow. But other than that, the pacing was great, and the final act is really fun, and the second act is pretty darn cool as well. I don't know, just a bit I wouldn't really say disappointing, because I was kind of worried for it, but it was just okay. It's like the example of like an American horror film. All of Mike Flanagan's productions, they don't really feel like horror films. They feel like dramas with like bits of horror sprinkled in there. But this weirdly felt like a supernatural action thriller. Like, and I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, because, you know, I had a lot of fun with it. You know, like there were a lot of badass moments and a lot of great visuals to coincide with that. Yeah, and I had fun with it, and I wasn't bored at any point, and I wasn't trying to catch my breath at any point. It's alright, it's pretty good. Yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I was expecting it to be better. Oh, and also at points, it kind of didn't really feel like a film. Okay, that's a bit of an insult. Yeah, it just kind of felt like one big Easter egg hunt at points. I have a feeling Warner Bros. Kind of interfered with this a bit. It was yeah, it was fine. I don't really like to do this, but if I ever give a film like a numerical rating, that's because I'm not really sure how to feel about it. So I'll give it, I don't know, maybe 6.5, maybe 7. I think I'm sounding a bit too negative, but you know, there were a lot of heart-wrenching moments in this film, and it didn't feel like it's 2.5 hour runtime. By the way, it should have been 2 hours and 37 minutes. Like, why didn't you just make the credits super slow? So yeah, check it out. If you've seen The Shining, of course, which, you know, everyone has. An American horror film. You really go in the toilet right now while I'm recording? I have to wait like 20 seconds for the thing to stop? God damn it.